I am a 30-year employee of the United States Navy with a secret security clearance. One day, I've actually been a subject of mistaken identity twice. One day, the state police called my house and said, "Mr. Byers, we have a warrant here for your arrest." Now, you know, that kind of tends to blow your mind a little bit. One, the fact that someone says that they have a warrant for you, and two, that the cops are calling you about it. I asked, you know, hey, what is the warrant for? And they said, well, you failed to appear in court in Baltimore City on a CDS charge, controlled dangerous substance charge, and we have a warrant for your arrest. And I said, well, I've never been arrested before in my life, much less for controlled dangerous substance. You know, I'm apparently not your man. It turns out that there is a gentleman in Baltimore with my name, including my middle initial, who has a long list of priors, if you look at Maryland Judiciary Case Search. And he was the guy that they wanted. However, because of administrative error, my address and telephone number and so on were placed on the warrant. If at any time between the time the bench warrant was issued and the state police were able to resolve this, I had been picked up for so much as a burned out taillight, I would have been cuffed and put in the back of the car and taken to jail. So the way this was resolved in this case was the state policeman had to come to my house with a fax of the mug shots and hold them up and stare at me in the face and determine whether I was in fact Mark Alton Byers from Baltimore, Maryland, who was originally from Louisiana, as to whether or not I was the guy. Fortunately, I guess he decided I wasn't. And when I queried the state police officer on this situation, I said, why would you call a guy who had a warrant out for his arrest? That seems kind of silly to me. And the response at the time was both interesting and chilling. He said, because a lot of the time these things are in error. Now I was lucky. I was in a situation where he could fax some mugshots and he could clear me pretty quickly. But again, had I been popped for so much as a burned out taillight in the interim, I would have gone to jail. My security clearance would have been in question potentially when it was reported to my employer and so on. So administrative errors do happen, and they can have a very adverse effect on people's lives. And that's why we have due process. And to put a bill in place that relies on, for a state law, to rely on a federal list that appears to have little or no due process associated with it seems very chilling to me. So I would encourage you to return an unfavorable report on this particular legislation. Thank you.